end zone. Touchdown! Hello, everyone, and welcome to Veterans Memorial Stadium, where tonight the North Quincy Raiders will play host to the Hanover Hawks. It's senior night here at the stadium, and the Raiders are looking to see if they can get a big victory over a Patriot League rival. My name is Jonathan Clary, and welcome everyone to this edition of QATV Sports. I'm being joined up here in the booth by Martin Dunham. And Martin, last week, North Quincy had a tough game here at the stadium, losing to Scituate 42-28. Good game, good effort by the Raiders, but we said Scituate was a tough team. Hanover's an even tougher team, one of the best teams in Eastern Massachusetts this year.
Yeah, Hanover is definitely going to be the best team that North Quincy has seen this year. Hanover's got an offense as potent as anyone around in the state. They're putting up 35, 45 points a pop every week. So definitely a tough task. Defensively, they're always very stout. It's a well-coached team, well-coached program. They're not a fancy team. They're not like Scituate where it's smoke and mirrors and they're going to do all these movements. Like Hanover lines up, they're going to do what they do, and they're going to do it really well.
Hanover coming into the game with a record of 7-0, 4-0 in the Patriot League. 250 points for and only 99 allowed. So big effort here will be needed by North Quincy. They come into the game with a record of 3-4, 1-2 in the division. All right, we're going to go down to the field for our coin toss so you can see the captains out in the field. So we'll turn it down to the referee.
Last game of the regular season. It seems like it was just Labor Day weekend. But time flies, especially when you get to be my age. Okay? You guys are on the bubble for the playoffs. You guys are obviously trying to hold on to number one, so the game means something to everybody. Take care of your fellow players. Keep them under control so we don't have to. Okay? Yes, all right. You guys drove up Route 3. Here's the coin. Football will be tails. Whistle will be heads. Tails, heads. The whistle, that's going to be the heads. That'll be the tails.
Heads.
He's called heads, which is the whistle. And it's the football. You've won.
You want the ball?
You want the ball? You want to receive? Which way do you guys want to kick? All right, put your backs down here. Right there's good, guys. That's good. North Quincy won the toss. They've elected to receive. Shake hands, guys.
All right, so you heard there, North Quincy won the toss, and right away they said we want the ball. So trying to come out here strong and get things going early on here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Again, senior night here at the stadium. Earlier on, before the game started, all the senior cheerleaders and senior football players were honored out on the field. All introduced, came out there with family and friends. So it was a nice moment here for the seniors, again, the cheerleaders and the football players, to honor them for their 4 years of work on the two programs. All right, we're going to take a pause right now for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does the star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, team's getting ready to come out onto the field. Martin, last week, North Quincy, they had a scare down in the field, as people might know by now. Cam Sampson, Jr. for North Quincy, went down, got hit. trying to make a tackle and got hit, and he was down the field. We didn't know what was wrong with him during the game, and we hoped he was going to be okay. And it was later revealed that he broke some vertebrae and ribs down on the field, but amazingly enough, he was home the next day. He was walking, and certainly has a recovery ahead for him, but he's doing okay, thankfully. So certainly glad to hear that. I want to report on that for people that may or may not have known about that story.
Yeah, I saw him the other day up at the high school. He's in good spirits. He's always been an upbeat kid, positive kid, and he continues to do so. And it's funny enough that he always says, or he was saying the other day, he wants the guys to worry about Hanover. He doesn't want them to worry about him. So, but he was on crutches. He was walking around. He went down to practice. I think he enjoyed just being out, I think, and getting back and seeing some of the guys. So
I can certainly imagine, yeah.
So it's good for the Sampson family. And then, they had a scare the next day, too. Younger brother, Ryan, who's on the freshman team, he had an injury as well, but that's also revealed to best case scenario, it wasn't a serious injury. So they lucked out there as well, and I know that Sampsons are happy about that.
All right, underway here, and it's a short kick. It was a high short kick, almost an onside attempt, essentially. It took a bounce, and it goes into the hands of Hanover. And a tough break there for North Quincy to start there, as Hanover's going to start at the North Quincy 35.
Tough break there for North. They wanted the ball, and that took a serious hop on that, too. It was like a pooch kick, took a hop, and I think North was hoping that it was going to go out of bounds, and instead of going out, it went straight up. So North defense here unexpectedly out on the field right away, but they got to come up and make a stop. They played a lookout tonight for Hanover. I'm calling his name a lot. Quarterback Ben Scalzi, senior. Second year as a full-time starter, stepped in as a sophomore emergency quarterback in the playoffs and stepped up for them, and ever since, he's been a big-time player.
All right, so again, from the 35 is Hanover. They're going to hand it off on first down. Right up the middle goes the ball carrier. And it looked like it was number 4, Vinny Mancini, the senior, one of the captains for the Hawks.
The Hawks have an incredible ability to be able to pass the ball really well. I was just saying with Scalzi, and then Vinny Mancini is kind of like their hammer up the middle. Really strong runner. He doesn't have quite the numbers that maybe other running backs do just because of the nature of their offense, but he's extremely talented, very strong up the middle for the Hawks.
All right, that was an 11-yard gain there on first down. They spot the ball just inside the 25, so we'll call it the 24, first and 10 now for the Hawks. Looking to pass over to the right side, and it's complete down the sideline to number 8, Makai Bryan.
Complete to number 6, John McDonald.
Oh, excuse me, that was number 6, John McDonald.
He's got his jersey rolled up there. And it's tough because both of them usually line up on the same side as well. So those are the two Hanover receivers, number 6, John McDonald, and number 8, Makai Bryan, the two standout receivers for Hanover. Two of a lot of standouts on this team. But those two receivers are normally lined up on the same side together, creating tough coverage problems for the defense.
All right, Scalzi hands it off. That's going to go to Aiden Buten. And Buten, let's see, gets inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Good run there by Buten, tackled by Ryan Wirtz, 24, sophomore, rotating in there. Hanover electing to use a little bit of balance here. A few runs, a pass, move the ball. We're not going to see too much tempo out of them. They're pretty, pro style. They're going to take the time, call the play in, come up to the line. So that is a benefit as opposed to Scituate, who came right up to the line and either muddle huddle or they're going right off.
Again, ball at the 9-yard line. Second down and about 7, we'll call it, for the Hawks. Scalzi looking to pass, and it is incomplete. Nice defense there by North Quincy. It was Marquez Rodriguez-Smith on the breakup.
Nice job there by Rodriguez-Smith. That's one of Hanover's go-to routes down on the goal line. They got number 8, Makai Bryan, on the outside. As we see on the replay, he's going to run a quick 3-step slant coming right over the middle. Smith times it up perfectly with the swat. Bats the ball away. It's going to give Hanover a 3rd and about 7. Hanover going use two backs again with McDonald and Bryant split down towards the right side of the screen.
All right, Scalzi in the shotgun. Hands it off, and actually it's going to be a reverse. It's going to go into the end zone, and a touchdown goes John McDonald. He got the handoff, the second handoff, and we'll see on the replay here, goes over to the left and punches it in for the 6 points.
Gadget play here by Hanover. Seems like they got one every week. They do a good job. They split out the wide receiver to the far side, Sebastian Brown. They split him out way outside, hopefully to take Rodriguez Smith out of it. And they put the two receivers on the opposite side, Brian and McDonald, tight end. So good job there by Hanover to scheme that up, get some space.
Our extra point attempt is up, and it is good. Looks like it was John McDonald on the extra point attempt there. And with 10:25, Hanover comes down quickly, and they put 7 points on the board to take the lead.
Quincy 0.
North Quincy's going to have to respond here on this next drive. Offense is definitely going to have to be pretty consistent tonight, and they're going to have to match Hanover offensively. They can't go through stretches without being able to score, so we got to look at Greg Summers and Jeff Powers, assistant coaches, talking to the special teams unit, making some adjustments, I'm sure, based on the last kickoff there. Good to see on the injury front. The Raiders are getting some guys back this week, including 52, Alan Guan, one of the captains. He was out last week, so good to see North starting to get some guys back as they prepare for a stretch run. Looks like they should be good to make the Division II tournament, but seedings will be officially released on Sunday.
We'll talk about that in just a little bit here and see where the Raiders and also the Presidents, where they stand, getting ready to head into the playoffs again next week. This week is the final week of the regular season. Again, high short kick there, and a fair catch is called for by North, but it was fumbled and recovered. Looks like coming up there was number 44 for North Quincy, Blake Nelson, the freshman, to jump on that.
Alert play there by Nelson. Tough play for, I think that might have been Tim Tolan, trying to field that kick there. Usually you have the back guys take those kicks. It's easier for them to run onto it as opposed to somebody running back to track it. But good job by North to jump on that loose ball, retain possession.
All right, so North will take over, spot the ball on their own 34-yard line, 1st and 10. Mikey Galligan, junior quarterback for the Raiders, leads the team out.
Going to go empty, no running backs.
Galligan, quick pass, and it is incomplete. Was looking for Ben Hudak, number 21, the senior, and just overthrew him.
Looking for the quick out there, just trying to get Hudak into space. Good route if they're seeing soft coverage. So we'll see on the replay here. So we see the guy that was covering was about 7 yards back. So quick out's a good way to get an athlete the ball in space, be able to turn up, make something happen after the catch. The throw was just a little high.
All right, so 2nd down now for the Raiders. Send a man in motion, and we're going to have a false start called against North Quincy. Looks like someone was trying to get a little bit of a jump there.
So unfortunate break there for the Raiders. Those are those little mistakes that they got to try and minimize tonight in order to compete with Hanover. We talked about Mike Galligan a lot last week. Had a big game, over 200 yards passing. Set the program record for touchdowns in a season in a career. And we did some research, and Mikey needs 3 yards to break the single-season pass yards record. So he should be able to add on to his strong season that he's had so far.
So hopefully he can do that with only 3 yards. Hopefully we'll see that here. Galligan being pressured, throws it out of bounds and just tries to get it away. There was 3 guys there for the Hawks chasing after him, and Galligan did a nice job just to throw it out of bounds and prevent the sack.
They're tough up front. Hanover is, as we'll see on the replay. Mike used pressure pretty quickly. When you go empty with no running backs in the backfield, usually you're looking for quicker routes, trying to get ball to slot guys or running backs out in space. but it's a tough job for Mikey there. The rush was on it pretty quick. Smart throw by him to just get out of bounds, live for another play. Don't want any of those 50-50 balls on the sideline where you can get picked off.
All right, third down for North. And it looks like it was a handoff. Fooled a lot of people. Will Conley actually had the ball over to the right side. And see if they're going to spot him out of bounds at about the 25, as you'll see here on the replay.
Safe play there. It's almost unusual because you don't usually see jet sweeps running into the boundary there. Mikey did a good job. He kind of sold his fake a little bit after the fact. He stood up like he had the ball, so that attracted a couple guys. North just playing safe field position right now. You don't want to risk the ball going in the air. 3rd and 15, backed up in your own 20 is a tough situation to be in. Took the yardage that they could get, and they're going to punt away.
And it's going to bounce at the 50-yard line, and North will let it roll into Hanover territory. And it's going to be marked down at the 47 with 10:03 left to go here in the first. Hanover will take their second shot.
Yep. Good snap there by Tom Wirtz, number 81. They had trouble a little bit last week with the weather. A little bit of rain, a little bit of moisture. The snap was good. They just didn't get a good roll in the punt, unfortunately. Raiders defense looking to come out, make a stop here. So we get a look at the defense. These guys have been working real hard all year, and they've made a lot of plays. A lot of different guys have had to step up with injuries and guys being shifted around.
Pass over to the left side's complete. Scalzi found, looks like it was McDonald.
That was 28, actually, John.
28.
Brandon Erico.
See on the replay here, on the pass to Erico.
Yep, so we've seen different teams use this. It's a common pass play to use. Kind of the way North plays their defense, their safety is lined up a little bit deeper on that, as opposed to, as you saw, the outside linebacker was pressed up there. So they just throw a quick little hitch. They take the 4 or 5 yards, create a second and about 5 or 6.
Pass over to the left side, and it is, let's see if they say it's caught or not. They're going to say incomplete. That was a quick bang-bang play, but they're going to say it was incomplete pass.
A good job there. I think that was Rodriguez Smith who came out and make the tackle. So Hanover tried to hitch again, as we'll see on the replay on the outside. 1, 2, 3, gets it right to the stick, and ooh, that was close. Rodriguez Smith was there to make the pop, though, initially. Referee immediately, the side judge on the side there, immediately signaled no catch. So he's got the best angle there on that. Good stop on that play by Rodriguez Smith and the North defense. See if they can get another one here on 3rd down.
All right, 3rd and about 6 now for the Hawks. Scalzi looking to pass, looking. He's going to be pressured, and he's going to get hit. And there'll be no gain there. Won't be a sack as he got back to the line of scrimmage. But great job there by North Quincy, as there's good coverage downfield as well. Scalzi was trying to take a shot downfield. We'll see here in the replay, and North converged on him.
Yeah, great job. Looked like North was in man. Good coverage sack there by North. Number 4, Ariel White. Number 54, Michael Finney, in to make that tackle. Hanover tried to run a flood. A couple out routes to the far sideline, but North was up to the task on that. We got Nate Sampson back for North Deep. He's standing at his own 12-yard line to receive the punt.
And North almost got a hand on that as well. Nice kick there by Hanover. And let's see, initially took a North Quincy bounce and then starts to roll backwards there. And it's going to be down at the 19-yard line. And that's where North Quincy will take off on their second drive.
Here we go. North's going to be looking to get back on track here. False start kind of took some steam out of that initial drive. See if they can get back on track here. 8:19 left to go in the first quarter. North offense past couple weeks, they've put up over 70 points, so they've been starting to find a rhythm a little bit. If it's, as we saw last week, they hit on a bunch of big plays down the field, so I'm sure Hanover will be alert to that. And we saw in the first drive they pressured Galligan pretty well. I'm sure that's going to be their game plan all night. Send guys after him.
All right, Galligan in the shotgun. Conley goes in motion and whistles blow, and
It's going to be procedure again.
False start.
5-yard penalty.
Against the Raiders.
Still first down.
5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
not what North Quincy wanted to do there to start this drive. As we were just saying that the false start penalty in the previous drive really didn't hurt them, and what do they do first thing here? Unfortunately, a false start.
I mean, one of the difficulties for the North offense this year is they haven't had the greatest field position to start, and then they've at times started slow. It's taken them a while to get their foot in the game, foot in the door, and tonight can't be one of those nights with the explosive Hanover offense.
Galligan fakes the hands off, has to run out of harm's way, and he just throws it away. Conley in the area, but again, Galligan had to go all the way back to his goal line just to get out of the way, and saw nothing downfield and throws it away, so it'll be second down.
Tried a little bit of misdirection in the backfield play actions. We'll see as we get a second look here. They motion Conley, fake to him, fake to Hudak, trying to slow down the Hanover pass rush. Hanover, as we see, does a pretty good job there. It looked like that was John McDonald out in coverage. Ben Wallenjohn was dragging for North on the backside. He was pretty well covered as well. So, again, smart throw by Mike. Just throw it out of bounds. Live to fight another play.
Second down and 15 now for North Quincy.
Marquez goes in motion across.
Handoff goes to Hudak, and he might have gotten 1 yard on the play there. He was met by 4 different Hawks leading the way there. It looked like it was Makai Bryan.
I think number 4, Vinny Mancini, was in on that pile, and number 24, Aiden Booten, also in on that play. A couple standout defensive players, as we see in the replay. Pretty alert. Yeah, right from the linebacker position inside, and then, as you said, Bryan, he does a good job squeezing it from the outside as well. There's a good test for the Raiders leading into tournament time or non, however the ratings play out. Just in terms of this is a playoff caliber team, they're undefeated. It's going to be a good test for them to prepare physically, mentally, leading in the next week.
They gave him 2 on that play, so it'll be 3rd and 13 now. Galligan rushing out, and he's going to get pushed out of bounds there by Hanover. Levon Flowers, it looked like, was the man there giving chase from behind, and Galligan couldn't get a pass away to throw it away.
North tried to run a screen to the boundary, and Hanover was alert to that. North's hit a couple of those the past couple of weeks. They hit one last week on Situate pretty well, and Hanover was up to the task. Galligan just electing to run it out of bounds. Didn't see where Hudak ended up on that one. But nonetheless, Mike Nista is going to be backed up, foot right on the goal line, looking to punt the ball away.
High kick, but it's short over towards the north sideline, and luckily it took a good bounce for North Quincy, so you'll see they mark it out of bounds at the 39.
Right to 39, so Hanover is going to be working with short field. North is going to be looking to get another stop defensively. Hanover, on their last drive, tried to air it out a little bit more. Unsuccessfully, North was up to the task, so we'll see if Hanover maybe will go back to their 2 running back attack that they utilized on that first drive, and it looks like they will. Oh, no, okay, they just changed running backs. They got Aiden Booten in the backfield rotating in. You go 3 receivers up top with Bryan, McDonald, and Erico, with Sebastian Brown, sophomore, at the bottom.
Our handoff goes up the middle to number 24, Boutin, excuse me. And Boutin will get up to the 31-yard line.
Nice run by Booten. Tackle there made by Tim Tolan. I talked about some of the Raiders coming back. He's one of the athletes that the Raiders got back this week. Missed the past few games. But he's somebody that I'm sure the coach staff is excited to have back. Play some safety. He could probably play some linebacker too. He's a pretty big kid. Hits pretty hard. But smart kid as well. Good instincts. That's another good play to add to the defense.
Fake the handoff pass over to the left side. Complete to Brandon Erico. Erico made 2 men miss initially, but North Quincy was able to quickly recover, as we'll see here on the replay.
Great job there by Blake Nelson, number 44. You'll see in the replay, they just run a quick little screen, wide receiver screen to the outside. That's Blake Nelson out there tying up the leg. Taylor Marquez got a hit on that as well. Great job by the Nelson, only a freshman out there. He's been playing a lot of safety the past few weeks. The guys going down, and he's made a lot of plays. Being that he's still in there, even with guys coming back. As you can see, very short tackler, and that's something that North's going to need tonight.
Actually, a loss of 1 on that last play for Hanover, so it brings up a 3rd down and 2 now. They need to get just inside the 30-yard line for the 1st down. Handoff goes Vinny Mancini, and he breaks free up the middle. Nice tackle there by North Quincy, but Mancini has the 1st down up to the 22.
Nice cutback. They went 2 running backs on that one. They brought Mancini back in, along with Aiden Booten in the backfield. Booten just kicked out the end, and Hanover does a nice job, as you see in the replay. Creates a nice cutback lane there for Booten, and Blake Nelson again having to make the tackle. You like that he makes the tackle, but you don't like seeing safeties having to make that many tackles as well either. So North will be looking, I'm sure, to send some guys up front, make some adjustments.
1st and 10 for the Hawks now at the 22-yard line. Handoff off to the right side for Hanover, down the sideline, and getting tackled at about the 13-yard line. Looked like it was number 12 there for Hanover. That's Marvin Felix, a senior.
Felix, I think he might have had a touchdown against Plymouth South a few weeks back. Another one of the talented running backs. Hanover's got a deep stable of guys, as we'll see in the replay. There's motion across, and they have an outside run, and Hanover does a nice job there, as we see number 74. Kyle McCarthy, a senior, does a good job sealing the end in to create that outside running lane. Nate Sampson with the touchdown saving tackle.
Ball to 12-yard line, 1st and 10 for Hanover.
They got Brian split really wide.
Scalzi looking to pass, throws it over the middle. It's complete, and touchdown to number 8, Makai Bryan.
I'm sure we get a replay on that. It was the way he lined up initially was almost like one of those, you got to look out for that. He split really, really far out wide, and usually when you get a receiver like that, it's usually meaning that he's going to either block or he's going to break inside just because it gives him more room. They tried that slant earlier on. Rodriguez Smith was up to the task. Unfortunately, Brian, he's a tall dude too. He's got to be like 6'2", 6'3". Good athlete. So that's a tough cover for anybody in the North secondary.
Makai Bryan, number 8, will line it up. Kick is up, and it is good. So Hanover will now take a 14-0 lead with 4:06 left to go here in the first. We'll see a replay of the pass.
Was that Brian? Yeah, that was Brian. They ran a couple slants on that too. It was almost like you don't want to use the word pick because that's illegal. You can't do that. But it was a good rub route combination. They had the slot guy just kind of get in the way. The slant comes sitting right underneath. So good play there by Hanover. North down 14-0 here early. Special teams will be looking to get the offense into some prime field position. Try and get them out of their own end. We've seen the past couple kickoffs. Hanover pooched it over towards their sideline at about the 30, I'm sure. If I'm them, I'm going to keep going with that strategy there until North is steady on that. The North kick return team the past couple weeks as well have ripped off a couple big ones between Will Conley and Rodriguez Smith, so I'm sure Hanover doesn't want to necessarily kick deep to those guys either. As you see, North has put Rodriguez Smith in the middle of their kick return formation at about the 20. Usually he's the deep guy. They got Nate Sampson and Will Conley back there as well. With it looks like Blake Nelson at the 20 as well. So they made some adjustments. Usually they go two returners deep. North's going to have one deep.
All right, short kick up the middle, and North will just jump on it to make sure they retain possession. Ball goes down to the 33, recovered there by Rodriguez Smith.
Yeah, good job to just jump on it. So Hanover, I'm sure, I don't know if they're calling or if it's the kicker that's just looking out the space, it looks like they're just pooching into open space and forcing North to run onto it. So Rodriguez Smith does a good job there to come up, just fall right on it, and to cover it up immediately. You'll look to see, too, later on whether North tries to get a couple guys just on top of the pile to help secure that ball as well.
Our North comes out with 3 receivers to the top of your screen, 1 to the bottom. Gallagher in shotgun looking to pass. Pass over the right side complete to Rodriguez Smith, and we'll see if they mark him out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
Hanover had pressure pretty quickly from senior Joseph Picard, as we'll see on the replay. Play action. Picard comes right up the middle. Mikey does a good job. Rodriguez Smith is almost like a screen fake. He just kind of steps and opens up. But Mikey does a good job. He's open. Just throw it to him right now. See if he can get something in space. You take the easy yards.
Make it 2nd and 6 for the Raiders.
2nd down and 6 now for North Quincy. Gallagher has some time looking down the middle of the field, and it is incomplete. Was looking for Ben Wallenjom and could not connect. Wallenjom had some space there on his man, but again, just could not bring it down, as we'll see in the replay.
I think that was the look North was looking for. Wallenjom gets 101 on the backside. Mikey's able to get it off. Just barely missed there, but that's a good target to throw to in Wallenjom. Athletic kid, long kid. Getting him in 101 in space is never a bad idea. And North taking a shot. Still got 6 yards to go here to get the first. Let's see if they can hit it.
Coverage is downfield by Ben Johnson, number 21 for Hanover. Conley in motion. They fake the handoff to him, and they try to pass over to Wallenjom, but Gallagher's throw is too high, and it'll be incomplete and bring up 4th down.
We'll see, too. There might have been a little, I don't want to say miscommunication, maybe a little misalignment. Usually, sometimes at the screens, you lined up a little bit wider, so Mikey might have been anticipating Ben to be a little bit more outside. They released some linemen as well, so they were trying to hit a quick little jailbreak screen. Tough break there for North again. That's going to bring up 4th down. They're going to have to bring the punting unit back out.
All right, Nista gets ready to kick it away. The junior, high kick again, and it takes a Hanover bounce. North Quincy quickly jumps on it at the 42-yard line.
Jumped on by Ryan Wirtz. Unfortunately, Nista's usually getting some pretty good rolls this year. Tonight it's just not going his way, unfortunately. But again, good job by the operation. It looked like Hanover was kind of messing around up front, and they were able to get the punt off cleanly.
.337 to go in the first quarter. Hanover on top 14-0. Final regular season home game for North Quincy. Again, North Quincy with a record of 3-4, 1-2 in the Fisher division of the Patriot League. Scalzi, Hanover quarterback, looking way downfield, has a man, and it is incomplete. Nice coverage down there by North Quincy's Nate Sampson.
Hanover, first play, as we'll see in the replay, it's almost like a coach's textbook in terms of like a turnover type situation. They're going to take a deep shot down the field. They just ran 4 verticals, and they sent it. Looked like that was Brian.
Yeah.
Mackay Bryant, straight down the field. They had slot guy open down, too, down there. So they're looking to put a lot of pressure on that North secondary right away.
Sampson was there step for step with Brian. So right there to help break that ball away. Incomplete. 2nd down now for the Hawks.
2nd and 10. Expect Hanover to throw it here to try and cut this distance down. And hand off.
All right, handoff goes up the middle. Aiden Buten. And Buten gets up to the 45.
Good job there by the North Interior. They've been strong all year. Brody Baker, Michael Finney. As we'll see on the replay, they just run a little zone option, the zone read that is in vogue that everybody likes to run now. Scalzi's reading that end, and he just hands it off. Paul Glynn looked like he had quarterback responsibility, so he stayed home and didn't chase the running back. 3rd and 7 here for Hanover. This is a big play for the North defense. Hopefully they can turn Hanover over again, forcing the punt.
Scalzi looking to pass, has space up the middle. He's going to run it, and he's spun just before the first down marker, and he's going to get it on that spin. Gets up to the North Quincy 48-yard line to move the chains.
Hanover tried to run that play they ran on the goal line with those slant routes again. North did a good job covering it, and they tried to put a running back out to that side as well, hopefully to bring somebody out. As we'll see here, they swung the running back out, which meant that Ben Wallenjohn had to go out and pick him up. That created the lane for Scalzi. It was good to see the coverage was tight downfield, but Scalzi does a good job. He reads it, and he took the yards for the first down.
You can see on that spin there by Scalzi, Wallenjohn would have had him short of the first down marker, but the spin was that allowed him to get a couple more yards. All right, pitch there goes to number 4, Vinny Mancini down the right sideline, and he's going to get pushed out of bounds there at about the North Quincy 22-yard line. Tackle there by Blake Nelson.
So they ran the zone read the previous play. On this play, they run the speed option. This is like going back to like the 80s here. Scalzi runs out at the defensive end, and if the defensive end stays with him, he pitches it outside, and they do a good job executing that. Mancini's out there, out in space. Blake Nelson to make the tackle for North.
Ball at the 22-yard line. 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
It just shows how dangerous this Hanover offense is. We've seen their receivers make plays. They've had a couple different running backs rip off a couple big runs. Scalzi's an athlete himself back there as well. In addition to being a solid passer, makes it very tough for the North defense.
Scalzi looking down in the corner of the end zone and incomplete. He had Makai Bryan, but Bryan could not hold on to it.
He ran a corner out there. It was a good call by Hanover. Run it to the back pylon, and Blake Nelson was just a couple steps behind. Scalzi had just overthrew him. It might have been by a hair, but a good break for North. Going to bring him the 2nd and 10. They're on the 22. Now, I know that Hanover's got a pretty good field goal kicking ability too. They kicked one against, I think, Hingham earlier on in the year from like 35. That would have been good from like 45, 50. It looked like it was a pretty solid kick. I thought it was McDonald, but it looked like Bryan was kicking the other point, the last extra point. So I don't know how field goals within their realm of possibility if they need to.
Mancini gets the handoff, and he initially was trying to go up the middle. There was nothing there. He kicks it to the outside, and he's going to get inside the 20-yard line, maybe to the 19, as we'll see on the replay.
There's a Talon Marquez and Brady Craig, the 2 inside linebackers in that play, came outside to make the stop. Ben Wallenjohn did a good job to force the running back to cut it up in. It's going to create another 3rd and long situation for Hanover.
Ball at the 19-yard line. As you said, Martin, 3rd down and 7 for the Hawks.
Hanover looks like they're going to go. Having a little trouble getting aligned here. They're going to go 2 running backs, but they're going to put their 2 receivers down to the bottom. If they pass them, look for the corner route. We're going to see if they hit the back pylon again.
Scalzi, quick pass over to the left side, complete to number 17, Sebastian Brown, and Brown goes into the end zone.
Complete to number 17, Sebastian Brown.
Tough one there for North, as we'll see on the replay. Hanover ran this quick little screen earlier to the 3 receiver side. This one here, they're just looking to take advantage of the cushion that the North defense was given, and Sebastian Brown just does a good job in space. One-on-one, he made a man miss, and he got in the end zone for a touchdown.
Makai Bryan will come out now for the extra point.
I think it's the 6.
That's number 6, John McDonald.
I'll tell you, the 6 and the 8 are pretty hard to distinguish from up here. Especially the jerseys are pretty tight. They roll together. I think Brian's got the rolled up shirt. I think that's how we're going to have to be able to tell the difference tonight. The rolled up jersey. But good extra point there by McDonald, talented kicker the past few years for the Hanover Hawks. We got a good look at the field here. Weather today, John, I will say, is definitely not an October 27th type evening weather-wise. So we get a nice look. There's no wind. The trees aren't moving at all. The temperature is beautiful. It's in the 70s. mid-70s. In terms of having a senior night tonight for North, you couldn't ask for better weather out here, I guess. It's not cold, it's not windy, it's quite mild.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a fantastic evening day for football here in New England. And like I said, it was 80 degrees.
Yeah, 68 degrees now, feels like 68. The humidity's at 68%. I don't know how well those numbers line up. But it's a tremendous fall evening, I will say.
Number 8, Mickey Brown set to kick off.
All right, it's kicked deep there by McDonald, and North Quincy will just let it go into the end zone for the touchback.
So North Quincy counted on that kick return. They moved Rodriguez-Smith up about 5 yards, and McDonald tried to pin it deep into the corner. They only had one returner back in Will Conley, and Conley does a smart move there, just lets it one hop into the end zone for the touchback. Once it crosses the goal line, it's automatically dead and blown for a touchback. So North will start with the ball on their 20-yard line. Looking to put something together here. We've had some trouble. They haven't been able to get the ground game quite going yet. In the past game, Hanover's done a good job. Looks like they've been playing a lot of man coverage. They've been blanketing the North receivers.
All right, Galligan hands it off. That's number 21, Ben Hudak, on the run for North Quincy, trying to get pushed forward by his teammates there. And the good second and third effort there by North Quincy. Looked like there was big help there was Alan Gaughan, number 52, you see, as we'll see in the replay. And they're going to spot him down at the 24, 25-yard line.
Like the Eagles tush push.
Yeah.
You got Noah Baker in there, Michael Finney, Alan Gaughan, a couple of those guys. Hudak's as tough of a runner as they come, as we've seen throughout the season. He does not go down with the first hit. He does an excellent job at keeping his legs moving and driving and keeping those piles moving. So excellent job there to take a no gain into a 5-yard gain.
10 seconds in the quarter. Second down and 5 now for North Quincy. Galligan looking to pass. Rolling out, fires down the middle, and it's intercepted by Hanover. Picked off at about the 45-yard line and running out of bounds with the ball. Trying to get the number who it was there, number 28, Brandon Errico, on the interception and the return.
Tough play there. Mikey tried to fit it in the tight window, and Hanover did a good job, as we'll see in the replay. They got Bryant sneaking inside, so Mikey had some room to roll out, and it looks like he just missed. It was Will Conley coming across the middle there. By inches, just missed him. And there was a Hanover defensive back right back there in position, able to get that. So tough break for North to end that first quarter. It's going to be up to the North defense again to see if they can get themselves another defensive stop.
All right, so that is the end of the first quarter here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and it was a tough one for North Quincy as Hanover put 21 points on the board, and they lead 21-0. And in the last play of the quarter there, North Quincy again threw the interception, and Hanover will have it when we come back with second quarter action.
Hanover showing every bit they're as good as advertised, and they had all the hype in the preseason this year as one of the contenders in their division. I think they're Division 4. I got to take a look here, but they were the team that a lot of people pegged coming into the year that they were going to be a powerhouse team. Scalzi's back. They've returned almost everybody in the offensive and defensive side of the ball. And a lot of those kids have been playing since their sophomore year as well. As I pull up, they're in the Division 5 rankings, number 1 at 7-0. So average margin of victory is well over 14 points. They've almost maxed out on that end. So as you see, it's a very, very good football team, and they haven't made very many mistakes tonight. And the few mistakes that North has made, Hanover's done a good job. Hanover's done a good job cashing in and making points.
Yeah, the closest game they had was the first game of the season at Duxbury, where they won that game 28-18. So to start the season with a win at Duxbury, Hanover had to feel good about the rest of the season, and it continued along with not many games, as you mentioned, Martin, close games the entire season.
I believe that's still Duxbury's only loss as well this year. And Duxbury's played some pretty good teams. They've played Franklin. They beat them up pretty good in addition to their league schedule. Good pressure by North on that pass play.
Scalzi's pass was intended for number 8, Mackay Bryan, as we'll see in the replay, but it falls incomplete with the North Quincy pressure.
I think that one was McDonald. We're going to have trouble with that 8 and 6 all night there. I think that's Bryan with the black T-shirt. I think that's we're going to have to identify him.
I don't know.
That's what I mean. That jersey's
tough.
really tight. That's how I'm going to be looking at it. I think Bryan's got the rolled up jersey with the black T-shirt hanging out there. Good pressure by North on the interior. Be able to force Scalzi to move, get off his spot, make an off-balance throw.
And, of course, to the bottom of your screen are number 6 and number 8.
Yeah, they line up together 95% of the time
Yeah.
on the offensive side. Two dynamic receivers. They probably got about 65% of the Hanover pass receptions and yardage.
Pass complete to Sebastian Brown, number 17, over to the right side. He gets inside the 30 up to the 28.
Yeah, they just hit that quick little now screen to the outside again, as we'll see on the replay. This is how they scored their touchdown on the last drive. Nate Sampson comes up pretty quick to close out the space, makes that initial contact, and is able to complete that tackle. As North had a couple other guys over there to clean up. Taylor Marquez for North, the first one over there. Got about 3rd and 7 here for Hanover. 3rd and 8.
Send the man in motion, and they're going to pass it to him. It's complete. Brandon Errico, and nice job there by North Quincy coming up to make the tackle. Ben Wallenjohn.
He did a great job there. They tried to hit him out fast on the outside, and North did a good job as soon as we'll see in the replay. He had a tough time, Errico did. He had to just work just to catch it. But Wallenjohn does a good job. He caught up to him in space and was able to make the solo tackle. So big play there. It's going to give him 4th and about 5. Somebody call a timeout?
So I heard a whistle blow in the.
And I thought somebody pointed to one side, but I guess not. The Hanover coaches are out in the field, so I'm not quite sure. I thought I heard the same thing you did.
Yeah. Well, the clock is still ticking, so I guess there was no timeout called.
I wonder if the clock stopped maybe, and the ref was just saying, like, hey, you got to let it run.
Yep. All right, well, it's 4th down and 5 now for Hanover.
Important for North here. They're going to have to make sure that they keep an eye on the ball, keep an eye on the line. You don't want to give Hanover the free 5 on a hard count. North's going to push up their coverage a little bit as well.
Scalzi looking. Fires a complete over the middle to the field, and going in for the touchdown is Mackay Bryan, number 8. And nice effort there by Bryan to reach forward for the touchdown.
That was a couple of great individual efforts from Hanover, as you see in the replay. North did a good job. They almost jumped, but they didn't. They got the initial pressure on the outside by Glenn, forcing Scalzi to roll out. And Bryan does a good job. He comes right over the middle, finds a hole to get open, and then he just reaches across and does the rest. So, 2 great individual efforts there from Hanover.
All right, McDonald now for the extra point. Left-footed kicker. Jake Kelleher will hold it. Kick is up, and it is good. So Hanover makes North Quincy pay on the turnover, and they put another touchdown on the board, and now 28-0.
That's what great teams do. They're able to create turnovers, and then they capitalize on those mistakes that you make. And it's just not North's night so far here in the first little quarter and a couple minutes. The good news for them is there's still plenty of time in this game to be able to kind of battle back. For them, the most important drive right now is just this next one. It's just to get the ball moving a little bit. They haven't been able to, I don't even know if they have a first down yet, but that would be probably the immediate goal. Just get a first down, keep the ball, just try and drive a little bit, create some momentum. They haven't been able to create any momentum on either side yet. Outside of the one, they got one stop on defense where they were able to force the punt, but other than that, it's been all Hanover. So look to see if North can make some plays. See, Hanover's been very cautious on the. I don't want to say cautious. Maybe it's not the right word, but they're very alert to how dangerous the North return team can be. So they've been doing a good job at putting kicks away from the return team, away from guys, forcing them to run onto the ball, not kicking it right at them. They got a couple different guys. They're going to go with a different alignment here. Now they got 5 guys in the front, and then they've got the other 6 kind of scattered a little bit differently.
All right, another short kick, fair catch called for by North Quincy at the, see where they mark him down at the 30-yard line. Looked like it was Paul Glynn on the fair catch.
Good job there by Glynn. Looks like he was coached up. As we'll see on the replay, the minute it comes right to him, he immediately is waving for it. That protects him in the catch in case the Hanover kickoff team is immediately on him. They won't be able to just kind of put a pop on him right away. The fair catch is able to protect him, so good job. They had to make that catch. Paul's also a pretty talented baseball player as well, so good player to have on the kick return team to be able to field those high kicks.
All right, North will come out and start this drive on their own 30-yard line. 9:38 to go in the second quarter. Hudak on the carry over to the left side, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage before he is met and stopped. Coming up there, number 62 was Noah Belowitz. We'll see on the replay to make the stop.
Belowitz and Joseph Picard, number 50 for Hanover. The 2 interior linemen done a great job all night, and they get that interior pressure again. Mackay Bryan and Sebastian Brown, it looked like they were lined up at defensive end. They did a good job squeezing that in as well, cutting off any running lanes.
So as I mentioned, no gain on that play. Second down and 10 now for the Raiders. Hanover with the pressure, quickly pass over to number 7 for North Quincy. Nate Sampson has it and trying to make some men miss. He's going to get up to the 34-yard line, and a late flag is thrown, it looks like, down the field. And there's a North Quincy player down on the field.
Unfortunately, there was some I didn't see, but there was a little bit of a slow unpiling on that play, so sometimes it means there's some little extracurricular. And we got
multiple flags.
We got flags, we got hats, we got a lot going on here. And it looks like so we got the referee talking to head coach Ryan Craig there. He threw his white hat as well, so there's gonna be a lot to digest here. And we hope that Ben Hudak is all right there. It's good to see him get up on his own. He's been tough kid. He's been battling injury throughout the year. He missed the first game, but continues to battle. He plays both ways. He gives everything that he's got. So hopefully there's just a little non-serious injury. He'll be able to get back in there.
See head coach for North Quincy, Ryan Craig, down there talking to the officials. And you can see the 2 flags and a hat down the field as well.
I'm going to assume it would be on Hanover, I imagine. I guess if they're talking to Coach Craig, just because they're going to try and figure out the spot and what they're accepting.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the offense. 15-yard penalty. 3rd down. They haven't.
Maybe not. I have been mistaken here. I know a couple of the Hanover players came out of the pile too, and they kind of threw their arms up, so I didn't know if the referee might have said something to them as well on that. But there was definitely some extracurricular activities at the end of the piles. We get a look at
It was a nice pass there to Nate Sampson. He does a good job out in space, and we, yeah, it must have been something on the back. So sometimes there's stuff going on back there. The linemen, they're getting little tussles or whatever. So,
All right, so ball goes back now to the 19-yard line. Excuse me, and it'll be third down.
So it's been kind of North's issue tonight. For every positive play that they get backed up. And unfortunately, it just hasn't gone their way tonight. So let's see now. We got a whistle.
All right, I think Coach Craig was saying it should be a replay of the second down, but
I
the
think they're
official
saying
said it was a dead
dead
ball.
ball, yep.
Yeah, so
North's got like a third and a mile here. Let's see. They're going to take a shot.
Looking down the near sideline for Wallenjom, and almost a spectacular catch by Wallenjom. A late flag comes in as well as Wallenjom's helmet came off, and I think North Quincy's going to get a pass interference penalty.
Hey, Wallenjom did a good job. He was walking that tightrope on the sideline there, and he almost came down with that. He had one at Pembroke where he basically had a catch just like that. Well, let's see what the huddle is here. It was like 2nd and 21. Yeah, 2nd and 21, or 3rd and 21, excuse me. So that would be a huge break for North if they can get the first down off of that. Actually, it would be 15. So it might just be a replay.
Well, that was a spectacular effort there by Wallen.
Pass interference on the defense. 15-yard penalty.
Pass interference against the Hawks.
So it's going to be a 15-yard penalty. I don't believe it is an automatic first. I'm seeing the replay here. Great job by Wallenjom. Oh, he almost came down with that. But the Hanover man in coverage didn't get his head turned around, and that's kind of one of those indicators the official is looking for. If you're using your hands and you're aggressive with your hands, but you don't turn and look to the ball, that's almost like an automatic one for them. So it is. It's not like NFL or college, and this is what makes it confusing. It's not an automatic first down. So it just made North's 3rd and 21 now a little bit more manageable. 3rd and 6.
And essentially those 15-yard penalties wiped each other out.
Yep.
The Sampson catch was at the 34-yard line, and then the 15-yard against North, and now we're back. And now it's third down again. So 3rd and 6, back to where we essentially were a couple plays ago. Galligan, 2 men pressuring him, see if he can get out of the way. He throws it, and there was a man in the area. Taylor Marquez was there, so it'll be incomplete and 4th down.
Tough play there for North. They had Will Conley on the other side too, but I don't know that Mikey had time to see him. He just had a quick out route, and he had a lot of space out there. Mikey got flushed to his right, and he just had to throw that one away. So North again will have to bring out the punting unit. Hopefully Mike Nista can pin them deep. Snap's been good tonight, but I don't think he's been able to get a good foot on the ball. Hopefully he can get a good thud on this.
And that he does. He's going to take a big North Quincy bounce there. Bounce at the 40-yard line, and still going there.
It's an interesting technique to help the ball go forward.
Looks like there was on Rodriguez Smith trying to get some airflow over there for the ball, but it goes inside the 25 to the 23.
Well, that's definitely more wind than what's at the stadium right now. The flag and the trees are at a complete standstill. So North will take all the yardage they can get. Good flip and field position there. Good operation. Good snap. The punt, it looked like Nissa got a better foot on that one. And he got the roll. Excellent roll. It's probably like a 15-yard roll on that. So it's going to put Hanover back. Unfortunately, it puts the Hanover offense back in the field, but North will be looking to slow them down.
8:08 to go here in the first. And as you said, Hanover offense back out onto the field. Scalzi almost had the pass intercepted by North Quincy. Nice block there by Hanover. And getting up there for the Hawks is Makai Bryan. And we're going to see in the replay here as Bryan gets all the way up to the 35.
It was like a couple almost there. So that's like this is like a Situate trademark play. They motion them back out, and they hope you all flood and look that way, and they try and hit the receiver coming back. to the short side. And North almost got the pick, and then they almost got the tackle right in the back on the initial catch. Brian did a good job. He was able to break it and squeeze through, get the first down.
Went right through the hands of the defensive end there for North Quincy. And like you said, a couple of almost what-ifs. First down for the Hawks.
Oh, nice job, Paul Glynn.
And Glenn brings down the ball carrier.
Came right down the line and made that tackle right away. Great job by him. He's normally a defensive end, so seeing the replay, does a good job squeezing it down. Doesn't create the cutback lane there. So Scalzi, he's kind of holding his hands up. I don't know if maybe he thought he could have kept that one. And that's the trouble with the zone read. Sometimes you get comfortable making that same read, especially if teams do a good job sitting on the outside there. You almost get conditioned to hand it off, and maybe you should have kept it. But great job by the North defense. Number 52, Alan Guan, did a good job getting pressure on that last play as well.
Scalzi, his pass is complete over to the middle of the field. Catching that one was number 8, Makai Bryan. And Bryan gets up to midfield for a first down, as we'll see in the replay.
Threaded the needle on that, too. So they had a couple guys dropping the coverage. Taylor Marquez was right there in coverage. Just couldn't get his hand on it. Nate Sampson came in to make the tackle, as we see Will Conley coming on. Nate's been going both ways, receiver and corner. Match up a corner with these Hanover receivers. Tough task. In addition to going out as receiver, so good job. Try and get him a couple plays rest here. Will Conley going to check in at corner for him.
First and 10 from midfield for the Hawks. Ball comes loose. Scalzi's able to get it, though. North with the pressure. Scalzi gets out of harm's way. Big space here for him. He's going to run it up to now to the 35-yard line. He gets tackled, but he goes all the way up to the 30-yard line. A 20-yard run there on a broken play for the Hawks.
Just a great effort by Scalzi. North got a good jump off the ball. They sent 6. Brody Baker was right there. Just couldn't wrap him up. Scalzi was looking downfield, and he had a ton of green space, so good job by him. Tackled by Will Conley. Knock him down at the 30. Get a look at the North defense here as they're calling their plays. In the Hanover offense. We go 3 receivers toward the bottom of the screen with Brian on the outside. And have Aiden Booten at running back.
Play action fake, quick pass is complete to Makai Bryan, and Bryan gets inside the 15 up to about the 12-yard line, make it the 11.
I don't know if we get a replay on that. So before the snap, just missed it, but Scalzi was bringing those receivers in, so it was almost like a tip that there was, usually you don't see that on a run play where he's moving guys around. They hit Bryan again on that underneath slant. They've had a lot of success with that little rub combination where they get the slant on the outside and the little kind of get in the way route in the middle. Hanover's going to come out same formation again. Booten in the backfield.
Over to the corner of the end zone and touchdown. They find Makai Bryan on the right side there in the corner. And some nice catch there, as you'll see here in the replay.
Yep. I was mistaken. They moved him over. They put him one-on-one. And they put Will Conley in a tough spot there where Will's about 5'8", 5'9", and Brian's about 6'3". So, tough jump ball matchup for North. And Scout did a pretty good job. He threw it right away and gave him plenty of time to kind of come under it and adjust and be able to make that catch.
John McDonald comes out for the extra point attempt. Good snap, good hold, kick is up, and it is good. So 4:18 left to go here in the second. It's now 35-0 with Hanover on top. We mentioned earlier about North Quincy and Hanover in their power rankings, and with the latest rankings that came out today, right now North Quincy is the number 16th seed, or excuse me, number 16th team in the power rankings. However, in order to qualify for the playoffs, teams must have at least 3 victories, and 2 teams that are higher in the power rankings, Bridgewater Raynham and Chelmsford, only have 1 victory. And again, this is the last day of the regular season, so they won't get to 3 victories. So North Quincy right now, in theory, would be the 14th team in the playoffs. And if those were to hold up, they would be facing off against number 3 team Marshfield in the first round next week, and that would be at Marshfield. Again, these are final results will come out this weekend, as you mentioned, Martin, on Sunday, but it might be looking pretty good that it might be North Quincy at Marshfield, depending on how things come out.
Yeah, we'll see. So the team in 4th is Peabody. There is about 1.1 points between them. So depending on how Marshfield does, I believe they are home against Whitman Hanson. Whitman Hanson's kind of like the Jekyll and Hyde team of the Patriot League this year. They've had a couple games where they've punched up and played really well. They beat Plymouth South. That was a home game for Whitman Hanson.
Short kick here, fielded by North Quincy. And it was a nice job there by number 4 for North, Ariel White, to backpedal quickly and get that reception, and they mark him down to 40.
Good job there by White. But just going back towards those numbers there, Peabody's average margin of victory is almost maxed out at 14. We'll take a look at that replays. They try and pop it up right behind White, but he does a good job to just kind of backpedal into that. So I don't know how much Peabody's going to be able to move up. I don't know their schedule, so I don't know who they have. But I think the only way that they would be able to really move up is if they got a super strong team that they're going up against tonight. That's going to help their opponent rating. Otherwise, I think Marshfield should be able to hang on to that number 3 spot. Like I said, with the Whitman Hanson game, that should improve their rating a little bit. Good run by Ben Hudak.
Hudak gets across midfield, made a couple men miss, and then dragged another one. And they're going to mark him down at the Hanover 48-yard line. So we'll see you in the replay.
So good job. Hanover squeezed it pretty hard and made the kick-out block for Marquez really tight, and Hudak just ran right around the outside. There was a nice hole there for him. So good job by North to get the first down. This was just a good way for the offensive series to start. Just got to build some momentum, a couple first downs at a time.
1st and 10. Handoff goes up the middle. And Hudak again. We'll see where they mark him down. They're going to say at the 46.
Good power play there. They had a lineman pulling around. I think that might have been Alan Guan or Noah Baker. One of the guards was pulling around there. So trying to hit up that interior of the Hanover defense again, but Hanover defense did a pretty good job plugging that up.
Martin, just to let you know, Peabody is playing at Salem tonight.
I don't think Salem's got an incredibly high rating. So
some big North Shore action there for everybody.
So I would imagine Marshfield is going to be pretty secure in that 3 spot, and North I think is going to be pretty secure in their spot, even with the score going right now. We got a flag.
So Galligan was looking over to the left side, and it went incomplete for Will Conley. But as you said, a flag was thrown.
.52. Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Another tough one there for North. But going back to their numbers, so North is behind Plymouth North. Let's take a look at this here. And I missed it. He must have been at the bottom of the pile. Or he had turned around, so I couldn't see who it was. But unfortunately for North, that's going to back them up to their own 43. 2nd and 18. See if North can just get a chunk of this back, create a 3rd and a more manageable situation.
All right, again, 2nd down and long now for North Quincy. Sampson goes in motion. Galligan trying to set up his screen, complete to Hudak over his left side. Has 2 blockers in front of him. Gets up the 1st down and more. Still on his feet down the left sideline. Great run here by Ben Hudak and a great play. And they're going to mark him down inside the 20, or right at the 20-yard line. Great throw there by North. We'll see you in the replay.
So they fake the jet here to Nate Sampson. He comes in motion. Hanover all goes over with that and They leak Hudak out in the flat. Good job out in front. Noah Baker, Michael Finney, Brody Baker out in front. Marquise Rodriguez-Smith. The good block out on the perimeter as well as wide receiver. So good play there by North, and that's exactly kind of what they needed to help keep this drive alive. First down on the 20.
It was a nice job by Hudak to tiptoe and stay in bounds and picked up almost an extra 10 yards there as he was right on the sideline. Hudak again on the carry, right up the middle of the field here. Nice cut back there to go to the left. Gets inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And it'll be first and goal for North.
Great cut by Hudak. You see on the replay here, they got Marquez coming across to kick out, and Hudak's able to cut right into that initial hole. And then he gets right downhill, gets right up the field. And that's what makes him such a great runner. He doesn't dance around, and he just gets right in there, and he's not afraid to put his pads down, and he's not afraid of contact. So it makes him a tough runner to take down. That mentality there. It's going to get first and goal now from the 9. Good job by the offense. Let's see if they can cash in and get 6.
Galligan in the shotgun, lone man rolling out to his right. Plenty of time, looking into the corner of the end zone, or just before the end zone, excuse me, was caught there by Rodriguez-Smith, and they're going to say he caught it at the 7-yard line.
So North's going to go heavy personnel here. As we'll see in the replay, Mikey rolls out. Don't know if it was designed. He had Hudak right there, and he just couldn't get it to him in time. So he checks it down to Rodriguez-Smith just to get a few yards on that. But North is going to go heavy. They brought in number 77, Mike Akpobi. They got Paul Glynn in there. And they're going to go big backfield.
Give it to Conley, trying to go over to the left side, has his space, cuts it back up the middle of the field. He's going to be just shy of the touchdown. He's down inside the 1.
There you go, third and goal from the 1. Good pitch out here by Will. He tried to cut it back in, and the Hanover pursuit came, so he bounced it back out, and he got a couple more yards. They're going to go.
And North Quincy, they punch it in, but Hanover calls a very last-second timeout there. So timeout called with 1:27 to go.
Interesting play there by Hanover. I'm going to hedge my bets to say North's going to probably do the same thing in about a minute and a half here. That would be my guess. They're going to they'll do it twice if they have to. I think. I doubt that they're going to go back and hand it off. We've seen the past couple weeks. Anything down around the 1 or the 2, they're going to just try and punch it right in with Mikey, especially with the big personnel group. They put Alan Guan in the backfield as well, so that gives them some extra beef. We get a look at the offensive huddle, and you can see number 13, that's Cam Sampson right there. So he's, looks like that's Cam. Good to see him around. Excited to be out here. So we get a look at the offensive staff. Offensive coordinator Dylan Meehan with Coach Craig in the huddle, calling the play. It looks like they're going to keep the same group in there. I'm trying to look. Nope, I don't see Big Mike. Nope, they're going to go back to a spread look. So there we go, John. They proved me wrong. I didn't knock on wood.
Well, they can still motion inside here, Martin. I know it's not the jumbo set, but we'll see what happens.
They get the ball about the half-yard line here.
Give it to Hudak, and Hudak, second effort, and did he get in? No, just shy. Looks like he's going to get back inside the 1. They'll bring up 4th and goal.
He did a good job. He got hit pretty quickly, and he did a good job to roll out of that and try and make something out of here. They're going to go back to the heavy backfield as we see. They try and hit Hudak coming right up the middle. Was chased down by the backside by number 88, Levon Flowers for Hanover, junior defensive end. And what a name that is, John. Levon. It's spelled love, apostrophe on. Here we go. North's going to go big backfield. And they're going to try and punch in with Mike.
Galligan, and they're going to have,
procedure, I
think they might have an illegal formation. I don't know if it was a formation or if there was a false start there. We'll see. But this one, I think, is coming back against North.
Oh,
And
no,
it's gonna be-
encroachment. All right, there we go.
Okay.
I got North went up to the line pretty quick, and I got nervous that maybe somebody moved a little quick because they were going on a quick count.
You know, it's tough, too, because I can't see if there was a touchdown or not.
I doubt that they even called it. We've had some trouble this year getting
I know.
calls.
But
All right.
sometimes they'll let that play run.
Yep.
And there's 22 men on the field, and I think 18 of them were in the pile. So kind of tough to tell there, but nonetheless.
So we got the ball moved from about the 6-inch line to about the 3-inch line is about where we're at here. As we see the referee or the back judge, his foot is on the goal line, and the ball is literally like at his feet. So North needs about 6 inches. It's 4th and goal. So North is definitely going to be looking to punch it in. They are running out the clock here as much as they can to avoid giving Hanover any time to possibly do anything on the kick return if they score, anything crazy like that. North's got plenty of timeouts in the bag to use. So.
All right, so North does call their first timeout with 10 seconds to go.
They don't need to give Hanover extra shot at the ball if they don't have to, considering that they're going to be getting the ball to start the second half as well. We'll see kind of what North decides to do to get everybody in the huddle there. I can't imagine a situation where they don't just try that push with Mikey again. The ball is so close, and it's so tough when you're in that shotgun formation when you're snapping the ball back 3-4 yards and you got to run up 3-4 yards. I imagine he's going under center, and they're going to try and push him.
Well, with that,
I'm sure the biggest thing, too, for these guys right now is just getting the count right. They got to make sure everybody's on the same page because Hanover can jump off sides 18 times, and it doesn't really affect anything for them because we're already on the 1-inch line. But for North, any penalty is going to back them up, and is going to make it a much more difficult situation. So I'm sure the biggest thing is just making sure everybody's on the same page at the snap, with the count, and you don't go crazy in the goal line by going on 2 or anything like that. You go on 1, and you just get off the ball. And they're going to keep that same group out there. They got a Poby, they got Glenn who checked in, and can't see who else. But they're going big backfield. They got Will Conley back there in case something happens.
all right, and then it's going to push him right in for the touchdown.
Go.
Well, no signal yet. There we go. Touchdown finally called there by North Quincy.
Good job. I don't know what took so long. It was about 3 yards in the end zone.
Yeah,
there.
it looks pretty clear from up here, but nice job there by North as they punch it in, as we'll see in the replay.
Yep, great job. It was, Alan Guan and Ben Hudak at the back of that, and we'll say that they weren't aiding the runner, John. They were aiding the offensive line on that push. So, and the clock has expired for the first half as well, so we don't have to kick off. That's a positive there. No weird kickoff shenanigans.
Our extra point attempt is up, and it is good as it
he
splits
nailed
the
that.
upright. That was Michael Nista. So as time has expired here in the first half, North Quincy comes down, and they put 7 points on the board. Nice drive there by the Raiders. And here at the half, it is Hanover 35 and North Quincy 7. Martin and I will take a timeout, and we'll be back with second half coverage in just one moment. Welcome back, everyone, to Veterans Memorial Stadium. We're at the half. Hanover leads North Quincy by a score of 35-7. North Quincy getting ready to kick it away to Hanover. North Quincy won the opening coin toss and elected to receive, but Hanover had essentially what was an onside kick and recovered it and took away that North Quincy advantage. And Hanover went right down the field and scored as well. And now they're going to get the ball right back here, too. North Quincy come out with the same play that Hanover's been doing all game here, and it's going to be recovered by Hanover. Ball was kicked away by number 41 for North Quincy, and unfortunately I don't have him on our roster.
Trying to see on the sideline if I can recognize the face, but I can't see who it is. So good little play there by North. Maybe try and get the ball back on their own. Hanover's going to roll out their first offense back on. Ben Scalzi, big first half. Hanover is almost flawless in that first half on both sides, especially offensively. They had one drive with a punt, 3-and-out punt. Otherwise, it was all touchdowns.
Scalzi being chased by Glenn. He throws it to a receiver, and it's complete. And essentially, it's going to be no gain over to that's number 4, Vinny Mancini. And again, it'll be no gain.
Looked like they were trying to run a screen in the outside, perhaps, and North chased it down pretty well. Paul Glenn from the backside put some pressure on Scalzi, as we'll see on the replay.
2nd and 10 for the Hawks.
Oh, we'll come back to that. That was a good job there by North. Good open field tackle. I think that was Taylor Marquez who made that tackle out in space, so good job by him.
All right, 2nd down now for the Hanover Hawks. Mancini gets the carry, goes right up the middle, crosses midfield, and it'll be a 1st down now for Hanover as he crosses the 45 and gets tackled. They're going to say at the 42 of North Quincy.
Good interior run, trap play. They had a lineman pull across and make a hole right up the middle. Give Mancini a good run there. Didn't see much of Mancini in the first half on the offensive side. They rotated pretty heavily with him and Aiden Booten.
Mancini now with 6 rushes for 66 yards. He had a long of 25 back in the first half.
What was Scalzi's numbers in the first half, John?
Ben Scalzi, 13 of 18 passing, 131 yards, and 4 touchdown passes.
That's about his completion percentage in the year. He's at like 65% this year, like completion-wise. So he's right on target. He's just super solid.
All right, Mancini again right up the middle for North Quincy. Takes a little bit of a turn and will get inside the 25-yard line to the 24, make it the 23. Another big run there for Vinny Mancini.
Hanover rolling again. Just another tough inside run by Mancini. He runs downfield so hard, as we see on this replay here. We got the counter action there. It looked like number 58, Austin Parker, and then the tackle, I think that was Kyle McCarthy. Yep, 74 for Hanover. Those two both pulled across to the other side. The first man kicks out a defensive tackle, and the second one acts as a lead blocker down the field. So, good run by Hanover.
Scalzi now looking to pass down the middle of the field. There's a man open, and it goes incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
McDonald.
I was trying to look at the number there. Again, we talked about this, the 6 and 8, John McDonald there with the intended receiver.
They just took a shot. They went verticals, all go, looking to see if they can get a one-on-one matchup, and they did get that matchup they wanted. It was just a slight overthrow by Scalzi. But on his part, you'd rather miss long than miss short. In the lineup, it looks like the same formation again. They're going to go 2 receivers each side.
Scalzi looking into the end zone to the corner for McDonald, and it is incomplete. Nice attempt there by McDonald in the corner. He got a hand on it, but couldn't bring it in. I'm not sure if he would have stayed in bounds, as we'll see here in the replay.
This is Hanover's number 1 pass play. So they got the hitch in the outside, and then they run that corner in behind it, and they almost hit it in the first half as well. Good job in coverage by Talon Marquez. He's got a tough ask to defend McDonald one-on-one. He had some help, it looked like, from Blake Nelson as well over the top. But Hanover must see something on that side and coverage-wise maybe, and they're looking to attack that. It's going to create a 3rd and 10 situation here for Hanover.
Scales again, time passes complete over the middle of the field. That one's to number 8, Makai Bryan. And Bryan gets tackled, I'm going to say down at the 19-yard line. We'll see on the replay.
So here's one of their other favorite plays. They've run it a whole bunch tonight. They got the 2 slants coming in. They got McDonald running the first one. It's almost like a clear out. And then Bryan comes in behind it with the coverage as well. Good tackle on the play by Rodriguez Smith. It was a good throw by Scalzi. It fit in the tight space, but Rodriguez Smith does a good job to make that tackle right away.
All right, ball, as you can see in the middle of your screen, at the 19-yard line of North Quincy. 4th and 6 now. See if North Quincy can hold here and get a turnover on downs. Three receivers to quarterback Ben Scalzi, the senior quarterback for the Hawks. He has plenty of time. He throws, and it is, did he catch it? And yes, they say he caught it there. John McDonald with a nice catch there. He dove forward for it inside the 10-yard line. You'll see in the replay, and they swat him down at the 7.
Yeah, good little job. They run a little juke route on the outside, and it looks like a curl. It was tough. That might have bounced on the turf there. That was a tough bang.
Very close.
Call. Yeah, and unfortunately for North, the side judge making that call, it was a tough angle for him. He's kind of blocked by a couple guys. He's got the receivers back there. I know North was immediately signaling. They must have seen it. They felt that they saw it, but nonetheless, they gotta buckle up here and try and make another stop.
They spot the ball at the 8-yard line, 1st and goal from the 8. Scalzi into the end zone and incomplete. Was looking for number 17, Sebastian Brown.
1-on-1 coverage here from Marquise Rodriguez Smith. Nice outside release, and Scalzi just throws it up for the back pylon to let Brown run onto it. They just missed on that connection. Here's Nate Sampson calling the defense here for North. Getting the signals from the sideline.
Second and goal now for the Hawks. And multiple flags thrown. This is going to be against Hanover, a false start.
Still 2nd down.
Little miscommunication on the count for Hanover. They did a little shift with the running back. They flipped him over the other side, and one of the linemen jumped before they were ready to go. So, good break there for North. Let's see if they can capitalize it. They'll put the ball in the 13. It's 2nd down. They got Bryan and McDonald up top. Bryan's on the outside. McDonald's on the inside.
Scalzi pitches it over to the right side. In the 5, and touchdown Hanover. Punching it in was number 24, Aiden Booten.
Booten's a pretty big guy. He's a pretty stocky kid. Powerful ball carrier. See in the replay. North's sent the house, and Hanover had the perfect call for it. They run the little speed option. They read the end, and Scalzi took quite the pop, but made the right play, the correct play. He pitched it out to Booten, and he was all alone. The Hanover receivers on that side did a good job blocking as well to help open that up.
All right, John McDonald for the extra point attempt. It's up, and it is good. So Hanover comes down and puts another touchdown on the board, 42-7.
We got the returning unit going to come on now for North, and hopefully we get to see the offense again. They ended the first half on a positive, bright note. They had a nice drive, a couple big passes, a couple big plays down the field, big run, big pass, and they were able to score right as time expired at the end of the first half. So hopefully the offense can build off of that.
The Eastern Massachusetts Association of Interscholastic Football Officials, the EMAIFO, is looking for you to join their team if you're interested in becoming a football official on the South Shore, South Coast, Greater Boston area, or Cape Cod. Again, the EMAIFO is offering informational classes and classes for you to become a high school football official, also college as well. So for more information, you should visit their website, emaifo.net. Again, emaifo.net, the Eastern Massachusetts Association of Interscholastic Football Officials.
I still say that acronym 10 times fast now.
It's definitely a mouthful, but I know they're certainly looking for a lot of people to come out and help out. There's been a lot of turnover on officials, especially after COVID. So they're looking for people, and unfortunately, there have been some sub-varsity games that have been canceled past couple of years because of lack of officials, and on all sports, not just football. So, if you're interested in getting out there and being part of the action, we encourage you to do so. All right, kickoff there is fielded by Nelson over his own 15-yard line. Makes some space. Nice job here by Nelson. Nice job there at the 30-yard line. Jumps over one man. It'll get brought down to 35.
Great job there by Blake Nelson. It was an awkward catch for him, as we'll see in the replay. He had to field it over his head to come back and get this one. Backtrack. Initial drop, but he does a good job, and great job by the return team blocking as well. As you see, a little wall there. Nate Sampson leading the way. I think it was Paul Glynn that got a initial kickout block as well. And Blake Nelson with a great individual effort, making a couple kids miss. Again, only a freshman, so hopefully we'll get to see him for a few years making plays. He's made a lot of tackles on the defensive side. As we see, he's got some talent with the ball in his hand as well.
Mikey Galligan, quarterback for North Quincy,
he's got
launches downfield, and it is incomplete. Was looking for Ben Wallenjom, and again, Wallenjom couldn't bring it in. Went off his fingertips and just couldn't reel it in, as we'll see in the replay.
He had that initial break, and he got a good job getting free there. Just like half a second early. If they could have gotten that ball off, he might have been able to go.
So you can see Wallenjom, he has slowed down just a little bit there, so Galligan could have put a little bit more air under it and thrown it a little bit deeper.
I don't know, the ball wobbled a little bit too, so I don't know whether he got a good grip on that. But good decision there that Wallenjom with a great outside release to be able to free himself up and get down the sideline.
So Wallenjom does have some wheels on him, and as you said there, he had a nice little fake move, fake to the inside and went out to free himself. All right, Hudak on the carry, and he's going to go nowhere quickly. Nice job there by Hanover to come up and make the play. Looked like it was number 22. That's Timothy Carlson on the tackle for the Hawks.
Good job by the Hanover defense, as we'll see on the replay here. There was just no holes available for Hudak.
Joseph Picard, number 50, also in there to help stuff that hole.
Yeah, Picard's had a big game at D-tackle all night. He's a senior. He might be a couple-year starter as well. Very senior-heavy team for Hanover. As we mentioned earlier, it's a team that a lot of these guys played as sophomores and as juniors on a couple deep playoff runs, and they're all back as seniors, and they're looking to make an even bigger run this year.
3rd and 12 for North Quincy. Galligan under pressure, and he keeps it himself, fakes the pass, gets across the 40 up to the 45-yard line, and they're going to mark him out of bounds at the 48. First down, North Quincy.
Nice job there by Mikey. As we see here, he rolls out, and I'll tell you, I got a little nervous, John. That ball was hanging loose, and the rush was coming from behind, but he tucked it away. Good job, Ben Hudak there with no block in the back. That's always the tough situation when you don't know when he's rolling out, if he's rolling out, and then you want to help block, but a good job there to kind of lay off and not get any block in the back, penalties or anything that would bring it back.
First down for North Quincy. Galligan rolling, pointing downfield, and it is incomplete, out of bounds.
Caught by the Hanover assistant coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, good throwaway there. I think he was pointing at Nate Sampson, trying to get him towards the sideline, but the coverage was pretty tight. There were a couple guys right over the top of that, so good move to just throw that away.
5 minutes exactly left to go here in the third quarter.
It's going to bring up second down. They brought in Taylor Marquez for Rodriguez Smith. perhaps get a different look on the offensive side here. Got Ben Wallenjohn by himself at the bottom again. Looks like he's going to have one-on-one if they want to go that route. So the coverage a little bit softer.
Galligan passes across his body to Wallenjom, and Wallenjom can't hold on to it, unfortunately. And late flags thrown here after the play is dead.
So seeing the replay, if Mikey had seen him just a half second sooner, he'd been able to kind of stand in there. He had Wallenjom coming right across. He would have been able to hit him in the window, but he had to roll out. And then just Wallenjom's a little frustrated. Yeah.
After the play, personal foul, a late hit, offense, 15 yards.
All right, so a tough break there for North Quincy, a personal foul penalty after the play.
Let's see what they put the down by. The down marker across the field still says second.
I say this is going to be the same situation that we had in the first half.
Okay, they
and
flipped it to third. All right, dead ball. I was going to say, pretty sure that was dead ball. So, perfect analogy there, John. It's just the same situation we had in the first half. So, unfortunately for North, it was an incomplete pass, and it's compounded by a penalty that backs them up 15 at the end as well.
They spot the ball at the 36-yard line.
And unfortunately, these penalties have bogged down the offense tonight. It seems like for every couple big plays that they're able to hit, they get backed up either with a false start procedure or a 15-yard penalty, and those are things that infuriate the coaches just because that's something you can control and stuff you're giving away.
Third and long. Galligan under pressure somehow gets away from it. And nice juke there to get some free, but he can't make the second man miss. Again, Timmy Carlson, number 22, coming up to make that tackle.
Good tackle there by Carlson, as we'll see in the replay. And the Hanover front all night. So they had a new defensive end in there, number 73, John Regan, senior, one of the captains. He rotated in at end, and he got the initial pressure to flush Mikey out towards his left, or his right, excuse me, Hanover's left. And unfortunately, with the long situation, it was going to be very tough for Mike to have to scramble to get that first down.
All right, brings up fourth and long. North Quincy has to kick it away. Nice high kick there by North Quincy. And takes a North Quincy bounce at the 35 and up to the 32, we'll call it.
And that one there, you might just want to pick that up. Rodriguez Smith tried to blow that forward, but they lost a couple of yards on that end. So Hanover offense will be coming back out with 3:54. It's been a fast-moving third quarter. Hanover keeping on the ground a little bit. North got a couple of run plays. See if they keep the first offense. Yep, they're going to keep the first offense. Scalzi's still in there. Could be the Hanover one's final drive tonight, as I'm sure that they're looking towards next week as well. Trying to get some momentum, some good confidence, some good work tonight, but I'm sure they'll start pulling guys at some point soon just to avoid any risk of injury before the playoffs. There you go. Two receivers each side. They got McDonald and Bryant up top. Looks like Aiden Booten in the backfield.
3:54 to go here in the third quarter. Pass complete over to the left sideline. And it was McDonald on the catch and run. Gets across the 40 up to the 42-yard line.
Hit that quick little now screen again. So you see they're just trying to take advantage of North's leverage out there. Get the ball in space right now. Scouts got a good arm, so it gets out there pretty quickly, and then it just lets McDonald go in space. There's actually Marvin Felix back at running back for Hanover. We've seen him rip off a big run earlier in the first half.
They spot the ball at the 41-yard line, so it'll be second down and short.
Second and 1 for the Hawks.
See, Hanover's they're in no rush here. We'll let the clock roll a little bit. They got Marvin Felix in the backfield, and they got Aiden Booten in a wing. So, see, they might be running towards that side.
And flag thrown, and it's going to be a false start against Hanover.
False start against the Hawks.
Good break there for North. It looked like they were going to try and run that outside play. They ran for Felix in the first half, where they motioned a man across as an extra blocker to the outside with the help of Booten on the wing to help kind of seal that edge off. Good break for North. It gets it about 2nd and call it 6. Get a look at North changing around some guys as well. You see Ryan Wirtz in there at corner right now. He's up on the top of the screen.
A handoff,
Oh,
a nice
nice
job
tackle.
there by North Quincy. You'll see who made the tackle there for North. It was number 63 coming up there, Brady Craig.
Yeah, great job there by Craig. He plays with good instinct. I can't tell whether the linemen were pulling for Hanover or if they just kind of ended up taking a weird path there. But Craig does a good job. Another one of the stud Craig football players. He's an inside linebacker. Does a good job. He plays in the offensive line as well a little bit. With the JVs right now, he's a center. But tough kid. He was out for a couple weeks as well with an injury, so I'm sure that it's good to have him back as well before the postseason run in the end of the season. See, was got about 5 yards to go to get the first down here. They're taking the time. Let's see if wonder if they'll keep it on the ground or if they'll try and maybe throw a quick little hitch route.
Back judge just put up his hand for 10 seconds to go on the play clock. And it's going to be a delay of game against Hanover. So push that back 5 yards to the 32-yard line now. The Hanover coach is upset.
Yeah, I think the hand went up pretty late, so we'll see. Good break there for North. 3rd and 10. Back them up a little bit. And we'll see if whether Hanover elects to try and put the ball in the air to get the first down or if they will just run it, keep the clock moving. They had 2 running backs in before. They got it in again.
You can see a little confusion there on Hanover trying to either call the play to each other or where things are happening. A handoff goes to Marvin Felix, number 12, who's trying to stretch it out there. Nice job by North. Marvin got the 5 yards back up to the 38-yard line.
So, good job there by North. So, I think what it was number 8, Makai Brown. He was talking to the tackle. I think North aligned in a different defensive front than maybe what they practiced against or were anticipating. So, they were trying to communicate how they wanted to block that beforehand. But North did a good job. They strung it outside and was going to force Hanover to punt for the 2nd time tonight.
All right, Makai Bryan, number 8, back there to kick it away for Hanover. And back deep is Marquez Rodriguez-Smith for the Raiders.
Curious to see whether they kick it out. I'm going to try and direct it away.
2 guys for North almost blocked that kick. And they do kick it away from Rodriguez-Smith. And wow, it takes a great hawk bounce all the way down to the 13-yard line.
Such a benefit to have talented kickers where you're able to, where they can kind of place it where they want. And they do a good job here, as we see on the replay. Missed to almost get in the pressure for North, but just that added ability to force the returner to either run towards the ball or to not even have a shot at fair catch. And that's such a huge advantage, and they got a good 10 yards on that roll.
So I know Tim Tolan was in there for North Quincy, and I couldn't see who the other man coming from the other side was.
Fortunately for North, this backs them up again. They got the ball in the, call it the 13.5-yard line here. I can't even see the ball.
Yeah, right on the 13-yard line.
Oh, there it is. It's on the yellow.
It's on the top of the goalie box.
Yep.
All right, Galligan comes out. Mikey Galligan for North Quincy. Looking to pass downfield, and it is intercepted by Hanover. Pass was intended for number 33, Will Conley. And coming up to make the interception was Cole Sullivan.
He had Conley deep. I don't think just Mikey didn't get everything on it. But Will had beaten the defense.
Which I believe that was Brandon Errico on the interception.
And it looks like we got a timeout here. We've got a couple whistles blown, and everybody's retreating to their sidelines here. A tough break for North. It looked like a good read. It looked like Will had the secondary beaten, but unfortunately, the pass was just a little short. Take a look. 52 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
We've been keeping an eye on Twitter or X or whatever it's called now to see what's been happening.
It's called X.
To see what's been happening down in Scituate with the Scituate Quincy game, and at the half it's 35-12 Scituate. So not looking good for the presence down there in Scituate, unfortunately. So hopefully they can make a comeback. Again, Quincy needs to win this game at Scituate in order to qualify for the playoffs.
I'm looking across the league as well, or across the league / potential playoff opponent for North Marshfield. They're up 20-15 in the third quarter. This was 20 minutes ago. They were up with 3 minutes left. So Marshfield in control there, and I believe if they win, they get a pretty good shot at staying at that number 3 spot. And I think North is going to be, it's pretty tight with Plymouth North. I think it's like a point separating, but I think that barring anything crazy, I think that North's going to be right around that 13-14 range.
Yeah. All right, so Hanover starts at the North Quincy 46-yard line. And trying to see who was handed off to there. It looks like it was number 15, Thomas Regan, on the run.
Yeah, Hanover's bringing in some of their second-string guys now. We got Tyler Vincent in at quarterback. We got some different receivers. I think we got some different linemen in, too. So that must have been, Hanover must have called a timeout maybe to kind of make those adjustments. As the clock's rolling, I don't think we're going to get another play here. Coach is standing with the quarterback on the side, and there are no rush. So looks like this will be the score heading into the fourth quarter.
All right, so as you said, Martin, Hanover's going to let it tick down as the players are looking up at the scoreboard and the clock. And that will wrap up the third quarter here with Hanover on top 42-7.
Looking at Plymouth North's score as well, they were up at the half over Silver Lake 9-3. They had a punt block for a safety. So I think with Plymouth North out in front of North already entering tonight, a Plymouth North win should keep them in front in the power ratings there.
Want to remind all of our viewers you can log on to Quincy Access TV's website at qatv.org for program schedules, membership information, video on demand, live streaming, and much, much more. So again, qatv.org. Mentioned a few times this is the last week of the regular season here for the teams. North Quincy looking to head to the playoffs next week with, we guessing, Marshfield, but playoff opponent to be determined. But also not that far away is Thanksgiving here at the stadium on Thursday, November 23rd. Kickoff at 10 a.m. QATV's pregame game day will begin at 8:30 a.m. Steve Mays will be down on the field interviewing guests and entertaining everyone with a pregame. And Martin, hopefully you'll be able to join me up here in the booth for Thanksgiving to help call the game.
Yeah.
I say those guys did a great job last year. I know Steve did a great job. I think who else do you have? I think Frank McNamara.
Yep,
too,
and
I think so.
I believe he's coming back this year
With
as well
a whole
to help
bunch of
out.
guests. I remember they brought in Coach Noble and a bunch of different guests. So it was a great job there. Good run by Hanover as we. Well, they lost two. Excuse me. Good play by North. I'm looking at the play and I'm blanking here. So North does a good job. They chase it down. Ben Wallenjohn makes the initial hit, but Michael Finney got the initial penetration to force it outside. But that game day, that's just, flashing back to the old days, John, back when the 90s when you had the old pregame show, right? Down in the corner of the end zone, the same spot, right?
That I did. Yes, there was.
Is that the 96 game or 97?
97, Thanksgiving 97. It was a sports wrap special.
Is that a one-time deal?
It was, yeah. That was my senior year when I was at Quincy High in the TV program there. And I was joined by Sean Walsh, and we did a little pregame. It was big thanks to Betty Campbell and Chris Potter at the time to help us put that together, and the whole Thanksgiving crew, Bill Early, George Capadonna, that helped put that all together for us back then.
Catch there by Hanover by Thomas McNamara, senior receiver, number 11. So you see some of those guys making plays. North's going to make some changes as well. You see Joe Nista coming in to play some defense. But Ben Wallenjohn, who's gone both ways all night, done a good job. Hanover's going to spread it out here. You got 4th and 3, and they're going to try and get to 3.
Again, quarterback Tyler Vincent in. He's being pressured, and he's going to get
Nice
sacked
job.
there by North Quincy. It looked like it was number 81, Tommy Wirtz, to come up to make the pressure and bring him down, as we'll see on the replay.
Great job by Tommy Wirtz, just forces it outside. North got some pressure on the inside from Noah Baker and Alan Guan, and Wirtz did a good job, made that tackle right away on Vincent. So turnover on downs.
And they're going to spot the ball down at midfield, it looks like.
Wirtz is a name that's been called a lot on special teams. Tommy does a lot of the long snapping. He's on kickoff, kick return. He does a lot for the special teams unit. And his brother Ryan, sophomore, same thing. So it's good to see those guys come in and make some plays tonight.
Clock is going to be running now for the fourth quarter, as the lead is where they're at. If it's up by 35 points or more in the fourth quarter, it'll just continue to run. Handoff there goes number 21 for North Quincy, Ben Hudak. He had a nice run there. He gets on inside the 40 up to the 37.
Great job, trap play, number 57, Ray Marshall. Coming across to make that trap block, kicking out the D tackle, and creates a nice lane for Hudak to run up into. North, I'm sure, will be looking to use this drive to kind of give him something to build off of heading in the next week. End on a good note.
And 1st and 10 for the Raiders now. Galligan, quick pass over to the left side to Rodriguez Smith. He makes a couple of men miss. Nice job there. And they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 33.
Nice job by Smith, as we see here. It's that quick little now screen that Hanover's run successfully a couple times tonight. One step, come back to the ball, and it allows guys like Smith, as we see there, 1-on-1, he gets to make a juke out in space and make a guy miss, and then he gets a couple extra yards after that.
Real quick, on the Thanksgiving Game Day show, we mentioned Steve Mays, and also have to give credit and thanks to Scott Campbell as well. Last year was a big part of that, and this year as well, with a lot of the pre-production and putting things together and helping out with a lot of stuff. Steve Mays and Scott Campbell did a lot of work last year to get that, and have been already working hard to get things going for Thanksgiving pregame as well this year, and we're looking forward to that. Again, now it's going to start at 8:30. Coverage will be live on QATV Channel 8. On 1072, the HD channel, and online at qatv.org.
Excellent stuff.
Our last play there for North Quincy. They get the ball up to the 25-yard line, and it'll be a first down for North Quincy.
Pretty good to see North ripping off a couple runs here. just to build some confidence heading into following weeks here. So you see Galligan back in shotgun with Ben Hudak to his left.
And Hudak had that last carry for North. Galligan looking down to the right corner of the end zone, and touchdown, North Quincy! What a catch down in the corner of the end zone for North by Will Conley.
Great catch, great throw, put it only where Will could get it, as we see in the replay. That is a tough throw. That is a long throw. As we see Mikey back up, he throws it from the 33, and he's going to throw across the field to the front pylon and drops it right in the bucket for Will. What a great throw. Great catch by Conley. Able to get both feet in. Great job, great execution by North. Good to see them put another score up there, and that's something that they can build off of moving forward. Especially after the last drive where they turned it over, they just missed a connection, possible touchdown connection before. So it's good for the quarterback, good for the receivers, good for the offensive line, just to kind of stay on a positive note, I guess.
All right, North Quincy looks like they're going to line up to go for 2 points here. Put the ball at the left hash mark. They have 3 receivers to your right of your screen, all bunched up. Galligan looking. Has time, fires, and it is knocked away there by Hanover. Coming up there, Sean Porter knocks it away, so the 2-point attempt is no good.
So you see in the replay, it looked like they tried to run a couple rub routes there, and Hanover did a pretty good job sorting through that and getting the coverage there.
So with the 6 points on the board, 42-13 is our score. The clock will continue to tick down here as we are in the fourth quarter. Should mention, again, it was senior night here for North Quincy, and we mentioned before the game that the football players and cheerleaders were honored. 19 senior football players and 13 senior cheerleaders. So big turnout here for both the cheer and football squads, and again, nice to see them all honored before the game.
It's a shame we don't have the name for number 41, the kicker for North here. He's doing kickoff duties. Had a good pooch kick start the second half where they almost recovered it. See if they try that again or if they decide to punch it deep.
Thomas Regan.
See, yep, and they're going to go with that little pooch, and Hanover does the smart move. They'll just elect to fair catch it and
Fair catch.
take the ball just inside their 40. Call it the 38.
Hanover will go back on offense, 1st and 10. At their own 37-yard.
We'll see both teams start to rotate and unload the benches a little bit. So for Hanover, Tyler Vincent at quarterback. So we get a look at on the left side of the screen. You see Brady Craig. He's counting guys on defense, trying to make sure that they get 11. It's like one of the tough chores of once you start subbing guys and trying to get those second guys in, especially on the change of possession. Excuse me. You try to get the all correct 11 in there.
Right. All right, Hanover waiting as long as they can to let this play go, and play clock ticking down under 10 seconds there. Handoff again goes to number 15, Thomas Regan, and Regan will get, looks like only 1 yard, maybe make it 2 up to the 40.
Good tackle by Mr. Wirtz. As you see, skips right by the tackle, gets a good wrap, and he pulls the ball carrier down. So nice one-on-one tackle. Mr. Wirtz, he's made a couple nice plays from defensive end in the past couple series. He rotates in from time to time as well to help give, whether it's Paul Glynn or Ben Wallenjom, a rest for a couple plays, so he's always alert and ready to go. He uses stack receivers here, but I imagine they're just going to take the ball and run it up the middle again. Nice job by Joe Nista there, 56, to chase that down.
Brady Craig also in there for North Quincy. Spot the ball down at the 40, I'm going to call it the 41.
So we tick down. Soon Hanover is going to run this, and they probably have to run 4th down, and that might be it for tonight here. You see a couple of the other guys coming in. That's number 22 up at the top of the screen at corner. Silas McKinney, he's a sophomore. Number 23, Mark Ibrahim. Looks like he's playing outside linebacker. He's also a sophomore. And then on the bottom we got Ryan Wirtz back in the corner, so North getting some of their other guys in.
Regan on the carry up to about the 44-yard line. Looks like they'll have to run one more play here. Whether it's a run or... Well, it's 4th down, so we'll see what they do. If they kneel it, it'll just be a turnover. But they can still kneel it, actually, and the clock will run out, essentially.
Fortunately, tough night for North, as you said, on senior night. Unfortunately, they weren't able to kind of pull one out. But Hanover tonight, it was as good as advertised and as good as they've been. This might be, I know they've put up a lot of points this year. I forget the number you put up there. But in terms of just the number of drives they scored on tonight and the consistency they did it, this might be one of their best offensive performances of the season. Just in terms of like efficiency and being able to move the ball down the field. Didn't turn the ball over, and that's a state title contender, to say the least. And North has some bright spots tonight, but I'm sure they'll regroup to this weekend and this week as they figure out their matchup officially on Sunday and get ready for the playoff. Hopefully get ready for the playoffs.
All right, Martin, just let you know, Hanover, 292 points scored this year, and they now improved to 8-0 on the season. So we knew it was going to be a tough task coming in here for the Raiders. Again, Hanover, one of the top teams in the state this year, Eastern Massachusetts, and they showed it why here with the big victory, 42-13 over North Quincy. North is going to drop now to 3-5 on the season, 1-3 in the Fisher Division of the Patriot League. It looks like North Quincy, they will be in the playoffs though next week. As we've talked about a couple times, just a question of where and when they're going to play. Could be against Marshfield. That's what it's looking like if things hold pat to where they are right now, but we'll wait for that word to come out officially and see where North Quincy will be playing. Real quick, run down some stats. First for Hanover, Ben Scalzi, 16-24 passing for 155 yards and 4 touchdowns. Nice job rushing to here was Vinny Mancini. He had 85 yards rushing. Ben Scalzi himself, he had 28. Aiden Boutin, he had 28 and a touchdown as well. John McDonald had one rush for 9 yards and a touchdown. Leading the way on the receiving side, Mackay Bryan had 7 catches for 96 yards and 3 touchdowns. Sebastian Brown had 2 catches for 22 yards and a touchdown as well for the Hanover Hawks. For North Quincy, Mikey Galligan, 6 of 17 passing for 77 yards and a touchdown pass. Galligan had 19 rushes for a touchdown on the ground as well. Receiving side of the ball, as I said, Ben Hudak had 51 yards rushing for North Quincy as well. Ben Hudak had 1 catch for 37 yards. Will Conley, 1 catch for 25 yards and a touchdown. And Marquez Rodriguez-Smith had 3 catches for 11 yards for North Quincy. Real quick, we want to thank all the crew that came out here tonight to make this game possible. On camera, we had Brian Cox. On audio, we had Frank Hart. Anna El Torre was on graphics. Our engineer was Chris Potter. And our director, and also on replay, was Peter Doherty down in the truck. So we want to thank all of them for coming out and making this possible. So again, depending what happens next week, Martin, we could be back here at the stadium for Quincy High. I'm not too sure. We'll see if things hold true down in Scituate. Looks like they might be coming back here at the stadium for a non-playoff matchup, but we got to wait to see what happens when the playoff seedings are announced and when the non-playoff matchups are announced later this weekend as well. But we assume there's going to be 2 more games here at some point in the stadium, whether it's next week or at least on Thanksgiving. So we stay tuned to see what those matchups will be. But North Quincy gets 1 more game in the playoffs next week, so good for North Quincy to have that, and there'll be a tough matchup wherever they go next week.
Definitely, but it's a step in the right direction for North. I know that I'm sure those guys are excited. It'll be the first playoff appearance for North. I believe there's only 16 teams that are even playoff eligible for Division II, so I think they're safe on that end.
Yep.
But the first playoff appearance since 2018 for North, so it's good to see those guys get back in. As we mentioned earlier, the guys are getting healthy. They've got a couple guys back this week, which bodes well. So once they get back up and running with another full week of practice, hopefully it'll work out better in their favor.
All right, again, so final score here for the final regular season game for North Quincy. They drop a tough one, 42-13 against the Hanover Hawks. So for all the staff and crew of Quincy Access Television, for Martin Dunham, my name's Jonathan Clary. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of QATV Sports. We will see you next time.